is your destiny. You have failed me for the last time and time. Don't make me destroy you. You are not a Jedi yet.
And we're back yet again for another Nerfherder stream. Welcome to the show, League of Extraordinary Nerfherders. T-Money, our hostess with the mostest, take it over.
Thank you very much, Grandmaster Teals. Welcome to the League of Extraordinary Nerfherders, everyone, where the drinks come first and your gameplay comes, if you're lucky. I'm pleased tonight to introduce our Sith Overlord and Empire expert, Box and the Fuzz, to talk about the hopefully revolutionary changes we have to the dark side this week. Box, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start this game, and what gives you the right for me to call you the Sith Overlord?
Well, I started the game shortly after launch, maybe about a month after or so. So I've been playing for a long time, and been an Empire fanatic for almost as long. They haven't really been viable up until more recently. The early days weren't so good for them, but kind of happy that where they are right now. I do have all the Empire maxed at Gear 12. Most of it has armor tech on it. Most of the Zetas, so I feel that gives me somewhat of a right to say a few things. But my Sith are lacking a little bit. I do have them all at 7 stars, but the ones that are non-Empire are not. They just don't have the same kind of love.
Gotcha. So a little bit more of Empire and Empire-leaning tendencies.
For sure.
Yeah, Empire-leaning tendencies. Wonderful. Well, I might retract your Sith Overlord title then. All right, so we're going to go into what's hot and new this week. There's so much that's happened for our game this week. It is mind-boggling. And then we're going to come back to have a really in-depth look with Box and the Fuzz about Empire. Box does have a YouTube channel that's posted in the description. And if you're listening right now, you're obligated to go and subscribe to that channel and to ours, or you're going to have bad luck for the next 3 hours. Thank you very much. Hot and new this week. Oh God, I don't even want to go into the first one because it's just so big. Let's start off with the little stuff first. Quality of life improvements. Finally, the tickets are working reliably. This has saved so much time for all guild leaders. We love this. It's just so fucking stupid that it did not happen before. Anyone want to weigh in on that? Bob. I know you do.
Give me a hold.
About time.
No? Yes? You know I hate these long silent pauses. I can't handle it.
He's so thirsty already.
I'm so thirsty already. Okay, we'll come back to that. Simable Black.
I'm here. I'm sorry. All right, no, this is one of the greatest things that ever happened in the game. I mean, you want to talk about quality of life? It was like they gave us a fucking early Christmas present here. It cut down my work and the work of my officers by 92% probably. So go CG.
Go CG. Yeah, there's a few workarounds, but now it's just you go and you look and it's thank God. The next quality improvement I'm looking for is within the new game modes, You know, it's like, oh, fuck, 49 people out of 50 have signed up for territory wars. Well, do you know how much work that is for leaders and officers to figure out the one person who just forgot to push the button? It's like 20 minutes because you have to cross-reference, 49 names with 50 to find the one who's out. Same with who hasn't done their battles or who's missing any offensive wins or any defensive teams being set. Like it's just so ridiculous that they can put a 0 for special missions, but they can't put a damn 0 for all of the rest. I don't know why that is. I'm on the verge of tears every single day when I have to go and spend 20 minutes trying to figure out who is missing. Anyway, that's my bitch for the day. Simmable Galactic War. Anyone for this?
Nah. No thanks.
That's really all we have to say.
I'm going to pass.
I think all of us are unanimous that we're still pissed off. Galactic War is so fucking easy, and we have nowhere to practice against, for territory wars, except in Arena, where those teams tend to be a little bit tougher, and it's more humiliating. It's like, can my Turkin lead bring down one team in Arena? Nope, okay.
I'm pissed off when I'm trying to test stuff, but I'm not pissed off at all, and actually very grateful when it's like 3 minutes before reset, and I have to clear Galactic War. Yeah.
And I was very resistant to using Imperial Troopers to do Galactic War, but I finally caved last night. You weren't the first person to tell me that, good old Maurice, but I finally tried last night, and with Snow, it is very easy. It's just like AoE, 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 gain so much turn meter, and it goes faster. I was using just Wedge, Han, and Biggs, and I could get it done in about 6.5 minutes, but I think the imps are going to be even faster. It's just Mother Talzin's like fancy animation. Just takes that extra second. It drives me crazy. That's all. We should have a race to see who can do it the fastest. All right. Done. You and me, baby. Tag.
Hopefully with the sim, we can actually maybe get a sandbox mode in addition.
That would be great. That would be wonderful. I kind of feel like they like us to not have a sandbox mode, because if you have a sandbox mode and you can figure out exactly what can beat something, then you're not wasting crystals in Arena, and you're not, gearing tunes because you're afraid you're not going to be able to get an offensive win in territory war. Like, I think that, I don't know, that kind of feels like I'm very disillusioned with not disillusioned, I'm very knowledgeable about EA and their tricks, and I don't know if we'll get a sandbox mode because of that. But tags for sorting characters for squads, that's good, right? Got 135, 140 characters now, and no button to pick Jedi out. That's a good one. Anyone want to talk about that?
I didn't even care about the tags. I just like the search bar.
The search bar. Okay. You can actually type in the name of a character?
At least that's what I read.
Oh, cool. That's great. Big changes to Territory Wars. This is going to, I think Territory Wars is going to be an entirely different game next week after, what are we going into, Dark Side Territory Battles. It is with Vader and Palpatine reworks. If they're actually implementing these quality of life changes for the next Territory Wars, I mean, it's not really a quality of life change, but, you're going to, your teams on defense are going to be able to win defensive banners for holding out on defense. So if, right now strategy is to set a very strong defense for a lot of guilds, and then to go in and pick away at a team. So today I went in and threw my head against this brick wall of these amazing CLS teams that the team that the guild that we're up against put in, and lost 5 teams, so that's going to be 50 banners for the other team. So we're going to have a really new strategy when we're approaching I don't know how many banners it'll be, but it will be banners for the other team if you're losing on offense. Very interesting. And we're also going to be able to see what teams were actually viable on defense. So there'll be like a little marker if your Rey team held out twice, then it'll tell you that. Or if it held out 10 times, it'll tell you that. All right, let's get into some more serious stuff. Bob, what booze are you guys drinking today?
The one that goes down his throat, I guess.
Huh?
What you drinking, Bob?
We're drinking Jim Beam Apple. We're gonna go down the Jim Beam Trail here. Last week we had Red Stag, and that shit gave you fucking wings. Let me tell you.
You flew straight into bed. Straight into bed.
Oh shit!
Bob gave us one of these. Thank you very much for this evening, but I have to go immediately. Goodbye. Very business-like of you, Bob. Are you perhaps like scary drunk right now?
So anyway, yeah, Jim Beam Apple. Next week, we're gonna compare Jim Beam Cinnamon against Fireball. So everybody that was here during the stream with the Fireball, you get to compare it. See which one's better.
Awesome.
Does that mean we're gonna do an episode with Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire eventually?
If you want that, yeah, we can do all three.
We can make that happen. More sugary bourbon, the better.
That's right.
I think we just need to move to Calgary because then we could share alcohol and make a Death Star. I really want to make a Death Star, Bob.
That's all I get in a cavity while getting intoxicated.
I guess in that case, you can add the Yukon Jack, Wicked Hot, Sinfire, handful of them.
You guys are assuming we'll still be streaming in 4 weeks to get all these bourbons down.
Speaking of that, should we go in and see what's up with our peeps?
Yep. Yes. And word of caution, I just posted this link on Reddit, so I'm sure we'll get some interesting trolls in here shortly.
Nerfherders on Reddit. We haven't tried that before.
All right. Beautiful people. Chopper, Phoenix Squad. Who's that? My leader is a legend. He must be one of Meditek's cronies. Bearded Fett.
That's Chopper from our cluster.
Oh, Chopper.
That's my Chopper, who is not guild. He's in Bob's guild.
That's my Chopper.
Your Chopper. Oh, cool. Awesome. And he's in our Discord too. Sir Loki, what's up? Silo Takedown. Thoughts on Night Sisters? Oh, isn't he cute? He thinks we take questions. Bearded Fett, Bitch Panda Sigma. Sorry, that was really awful. Grim, what's up? It's awesome what you can do if you don't get paid for something. Darth Hideous, what's up, brother? You got to get back on our Discord. Jack Ray, hey, how's it going? Playing live arena battles. Yes, I would love to have live PvP. That would be so cool. So many games have that. I don't see why they can't set that up. Finity, what's up? Good old Maurice is in here. Awesome. I'm going to go back all the way to the beginning. Lil V, looking for something to fall asleep listening to. Aw, fuck you, Lil V.
Lil V.
Lil V, you little son of a bitch. KP67, Fox, don't play. All right. Okay, so let's get going on what's next. Oh, our game name of the week.
I just read something very disturbing. Can I interrupt? Thanks. Somebody in the chat just said I have a bunion with an eyeball on it.
What?
Carry on.
It got a bug in with an eyeball on it? Is that like a southern U.S.
No,
thing?
that's a bunion.
Bunion.
With an eyeball on it?
Compliments of Sir Loki.
Oh, thank you, Sir Loki. You gotta take care of your feet, man.
Sorry, I derailed you. I apologize.
No, that's all right. I was just about to talk about waiting.
Empire. Let's talk about Empire.
Oh, we gotta talk about the game name because he's gonna put it up.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Hey, that's not my titty sprinkles. I had censored sprinkles.
That's the one I made. Like 2 hours ago.
They made a very classy titty sprinkles with a like slightly opaque bar across the nipples, but that's our game name of the week. So we played this guild this week called, what was it, Teals?
Night's Watch.
Night's Watch. And one of their players was Titty Sprinkles, and everyone was fighting over like going in to beat Titty Sprinkles. I think that's what they were talking about anyway, the game. But
I took it out before I took the screenshot.
Is that UT money?
No. Those are like really,
patriotic
tits. Those are patriotic tits. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
it makes me
patriotic.
want to get a membership in the United States of America, whatever it's called.
A membership? I'd like a membership to America, please.
Do we have weather today, Teals?
We might. We might.
What are you talking about?
Freedom. In the chat just said, is there a chick on the show or is that Nukin?
Oh my god.
All right. Apologize.
I gotta really see where this is going here.
All right.
Alright.
Walk us through this, Teals. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here.
You not see it? Sure what you're looking at? It's just a little slippery outside.
Looks like there's a couple of low systems moving in.
Yeah, they're hanging a little low. Not as nice as Titty Sprinkles, but...
Do you think Titty Sprinkles lives in St. Louis or Cincinnati?
What? Why? Huh? Why?
Why what?
I don't get that. Is that a joke? Or is that
I mean, apparently it was a really, really bad one, so no.
Okay.
We'll go with no.
All right. So now that we've had our little masturbatory section, let's go into what everyone's actually
you didn't want the other picture?
Oh, we have a mildly penis today?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Came across this today. It was,
oh, beautiful.
They went and ate out at the sushi restaurant, and they made sure to have a phallic boat display.
Wow, that's a lot of fish. All right. Edamir Jr., hope you're over 18. Thanks for subscribing. Reggae Dragon 22, also, thank you very much. You're so welcome. Okay, Box, how you doing? You putting up with us still?
Not too bad.
There?
Yeah.
So we got when you're playing. You're, just a little after day one player. You've had a general progression of Empire. I have to say I was a little bit offended by this not viable in the arena until recently thing. Maybe recently means like a year ago for you, because I was running Zeta for a year.
Yeah,
it's a less game, but I love that. I love that, man.
It well over a year ago. I'm thinking, when I think of viability, I'm thinking back to like the first few months when it was all pretty sad, and it wasn't really until Palpatine dropped that Empire really took and came to their own. And I've been running off and on a little bit. I've had a few breaks here and there, but I've been running Empire pretty much since Palpatine first dropped.
What have you been running before this rework?
Well, the last couple weeks actually, I've had Night Sisters on, but that's just because my shard went completely J-Ray, and it was just the best counter for defense. But up until then, I've been playing around with a lot of stuff. Thrawn Reed was kind of the go-to for me. IPD's always been in there. Shore Trooper and Krennic, Stormtrooper, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper. Those are kind of the 5 or 6 that I'd circle around a little bit, and there's nothing they can't beat. That's what I like about the Empire so much is you can plug and play 8 or 9 different characters, and there's literally nothing they can't beat. That, as far as I'm concerned, they're the only faction that can take on any other faction. Everybody else has some sort of Achilles heel. They seem to be able to work their way around everything.
Well, I have to say, we got to have you back on to walk us through using Thrawn lead in Territory Wars, or like Empire and Territory Wars, because I'm failing. Like, I think maybe I have to remod and really kind of, just because those guys are so speed dependent and they're so slow to begin with, like I have to actually like mod them properly. But yeah.
For sure. I run through Territory Wars. I usually have 2 Empire squads, and then a First Order one, and then sometimes a 3rd Empire one, just kind of depending on how platoons kind of fuck you up a little bit. But
no, I'm talking Territory Wars.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
I remember that open beta. I remember seeing your Thrawn lead team, with the Shore Trooper and the Stormtrooper. I think it was Death Trooper and Krennic. I remember seeing your team on that open beta we did,
Yeah.
That team was tough, man.
On the arena or on the board?
No, on the arena ladder.
I run that team to beat CLS every time.
Yeah, I do too. I faced your team a couple times, and people had talked about it, but I faced your team specifically. I remember, and that kind of forced my hand into making that team myself, because that's a damn good team, man. that you had. Yeah. That was awesome.
It is, and it does handle CLS so well. Unfortunately, I'm always stuck setting it on defense, so I don't get to play it very much. But trying to get away from that, trying to get up to some other comps that we can have on defense to have that availability for offense, because it shuts down CLS just incredible.
You wouldn't switch it with First Order, or do you have KRU done?
What's that?
You wouldn't switch it with First Order on defense? Do you have Unmasked Kylo done?
I do. Yeah, I do. I run them both on defense. The way our guild's kind of structured is the bigger whales at the top. We tend to load up a little bit heavier on some of those huge meta teams on defense. So I don't have a whole lot left to work with on offense. A lot of scraps. You have to kind of just chip away and dig at stuff and grind it out. But
yeah, I don't know.
At some point, just to get some of those back on, because I love playing me some Empire. It's a little bit depressing having to set that stuff on defense. And it's fun to watch, though. It's fun to watch when guys go in there and you come out and you see, down a little bit of protection, and someone else goes back in, and then all of a sudden there's more protection on them, and that's fun.
All right, just real quick, Omega, who we had on for the previous Empire show, he's having a temper tantrum in the chat. And I will give him, he was the first one that told me about that team. Absolutely, Omega. You were the first one that told me about it, but Box is the first one I ever played.
I don't think you can talk about our viewers having temper tantrums. I don't think that's good.
I can definitely talk about Omega having a temper tantrum.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Omega. Good old Maurice. That's my Fukin team. I said this weeks ago.
All right, Carrie, I didn't mean to interrupt. That is... Sorry.
Oh, is it Nukin's birthday today? Or my birthday? This is Nukin coming to you live from the League of Extraordinary Nerfherders. This is my new stream that I'm doing now. Sorry. Okay, so let's keep going with Empire.
You're too deep. You're not high pitching it.
I'm going to stop making fun of Nukin. He's a lovely young man. Okay, let's go dive in.
I'm a freaking Patreon supporter.
Let's dive into the reworks. Box and the Fuzz, let's walk us through.
Okay, well, first, let's start with Vader. That's kind of my favorite of the two of them. So he recently got a unique, which desperately needed. And it is, he gains at the start of each encounter, Darth Vader gains 8 speed until the end of that encounter for each of the following: Empire ally, Sith ally, Jedi enemy, Rebel enemy. Darth Vader is immune to turn meter reduction and recovers 5% health when a damage over time effect on an enemy expires. So that speed increase, which that is huge. The and it stacks with double factions too. So he gets
That's
16.
Crazy.
He gets
That's
16
awesome.
speed. Yeah, he gets 16 because he's Empire and Sith. If he has another one like Palps, if he's on the same team, that's another plus 16. So it adds up real fast. And then if you get somebody like Old Ben on the other team who's Jedi and Rebel, that's
Old
another
Ben,
plus 16.
Kanan,
So
Ezra.
yeah, it's nuts. I haven't even tried to figure out sometimes. There's too many variables to see exactly what the speed is, but it's weird when you go to start and Vader's going first. Like it's messed up. I'm not used to that. It throws me off a little bit. But no, that's phenomenal. It's definitely something that he needed. I mean, we finally got the end of Rogue One Vader here now, where he's going all batshit. That's something we've needed for a long time. So Palps, I'm not as hyped about him. He's okay. He got a couple of ZETAS, and that was about it. He did no new uniques or anything like that. But the big ones for him on his lead now, he gets 5% turn meter every time a buff expires. So that's kind of a big deal, especially against Vader there with all the dots. That's every time one of those dots expires, every time they're going, especially with a J-Ray team, the BB-8's getting all the turn meter and going. All those buffs starts expiring, and then it kicks Empire up into overdrive. And then on
one thing, did you talk about the counter? His AOE being non-counterable.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, with Vader, that's massive. That right there is it's CLS bait, really.
Yeah, because that's what took him out of the arena in the first place.
Well, you throw the AOE and they're done. But now,
CLS, but you had to have R2 and you had to be a good speed. Like, it was really tricky.
Yeah, that's huge, and I can't wait for territory battles to come back and to be tried, because Vader was a pretty weak lead compared to some of the other Empire ones. But now with some of this rework, his speed and not being able to counter on his AOE, that's incredible. He's going to be a strong leader. It's going to help a lot of guilds too. Everybody has Vader at this point. Most people have him Zeted on his lead already, so it's going to help a lot of guilds get those extra waves in to get a little bit higher stars.
Let me just take us on a teeny little tangent. Was anybody else offended that you could buy 80 Vader shards in the shop? There's certain things about this game where I like to pretend that EA is like filled with Star Wars fans, and there's like some like aspects of the game that are precious. And to me, I was like, I guess there's nothing in this game that's sacred, Like, I'm just fucking buying Vader shards. I don't know, like
how you feel.
Passage to get your 7-star Vader, and now it's gone now.
Right, but how you feel about that pack is how I felt when they put him in the fucking fleet shipments.
I agree with that.
True, me too. Well,
or going up into the shard shop. That's where it started. Because
but I got 4 Vader shards this week. Yes. It's like
it's true though, and I felt that because I didn't have Vader done when they went into the Fleet store, and I felt that way too. I was like, oh no, I did. I think I did have him done, and I was a little bit pissy that he was in there maybe. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been nice to. Anyway, that's my tangent. Back to you, Emperor Palpatine. Disappointing. Carry on.
I wouldn't really say he's not disappointing. He's just, he didn't. In my opinion, he doesn't. The rework he got wasn't as prevalent as what Vader got.
So I'm glad to hear you say that. Like, I looked at his kit and I just like immediately dismissed it, but now I feel like that was a decent decision. Like, you know, I've got this Zeta, I've got an itchy trigger finger, and Palpatine didn't interest me at all. So that's
it's
cool.
just he's so squishy. I don't think
I have no intention for his leader. I'll do his unique. I won't do his lead.
I have to say though, I was playing around a little bit in Arena today, and the guy in my shard, he threw in an Empire team, and he only has Palp's lead Zeta. He doesn't have any of the other new ones. Ooh, and I was just experimenting. I was throwing a few different teams around and playing against him. And I tried a Night Sisters team against him, wiped them out. Just completely wiped them out. I got like one turn, and they just took over. I couldn't do anything, and it was all the debuffs expiring, and he was just getting all that crazy turn meter, and they were just going nuts on me. I couldn't believe it. So, you know, I think
because Vader gets 5% and he gets 50, right? When shock expires. Isn't that what it is? Let me go look. Sorry.
I have to look now too.
My bad.
But
do you know if plague counts as a buff? Because, you know, like, let's say you got a few plagues on Palpatine, and he does his little move, was a crackling doom, and recovers all of his health, and you know, eliminates all the plagues. Will he get turn meter for that? I know it's a little. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really faced much of it yet at all. It's been a day, so just curious.
Well, that's a debuff on him though. It's when the debuffs on the enemy expires that they gain.
My bad. So it's when an Empire ally inflicts a debuff during their turn. So when they inflict a debuff, they gain 20%. When an Sith ally inflicts a debuff, they recover 20% health. And when a debuff on an enemy expires, Empire and Sith gain 5% turn meter. So the gain it's 5% for both Vader and EP.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
it's 50% max 50% max protection that he gets with his Crackling Doom unique.
I was certainly impressed. I mean, I normally don't like getting my ass handed to me in arena, but when I lost that way, I had to give the guy a bit of a nod, like, good, okay, this is all right. This is all right. I don't mind losing to Empire. I mean, what am I doing running Night Sisters against them, right? I had that coming. But no, I do like they've done now. It seems like they're really going around instead of just coming in with an overpowered new character that dominates arena, kind of like how CLS did for a good 4 or 5 months. It seems like now they're bringing in more faction synergy, and really generating that paper rock scissors thing, which I think is great. It's healthy for the game. It's healthy for arena. You know, Night Sisters can wipe out J-Ray really well. J-Ray is pretty strong against the Empire. Empire can wipe out Night Sisters, and you've got the circle, and you know, that's a good state of the game.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a good segue to look at a couple. We have 2 videos that are also on your channel, so go and share them from there, folks. They are both linked below in the description, and Teals will cue them up. One is against Night Sisters, and one is against Jedi Rey. And I don't know. I love our fanboys because these are folks who use these tunes and know them so well. They know the mechanics. They understand. It's like when there's a faction that you know, like I know Resistance so well, like old school Resistance, and I know how to use them. And people are like, you know, my Resistance doesn't do any. Well, it's like, I don't know. You can't know everything in this game really well. Like there's so many dynamics. Unless you have an eidetic memory, you're not going to know everything. And so when we bring our fanboys on, I feel really trustworthy. If they say something sucks, then it sucks. And if they say something's good, then if you don't know how to do it, then you're doing it wrong and you got to figure it out, right? So like the mods are off or something's off. You know, maybe there's God mods involved. That's a different story. But so yeah. So we have some footage against some arena teams. And I'm saying this because Vader and EP reworks are getting a lot of flack right now. People are saying they can't beat this, they can't beat that. But here's some videos that show differently. So tell us about what we're seeing right here. Can you see the Skype screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, walk us through this, please.
So this is, and in all fairness, I do have Shore and Thrawn have really, really good mods on it, but because I haven't been using Vader and EP up until more recently, they have pretty mediocre mods on here. I haven't really remodded them yet, so it kind of adds more validity. Thrawn is sitting at 274 right now in this video, but and he's got a speed set. Shore Trooper I think is at 231 with a speed set, and Probe Droid I think is about 221 with a speed set, and then I got Vader at 207 with crit damage and crit chance, and Helps is at a speedy 191 with offense on them, so they're pretty slow, and that's a bit of a testament I think to how well they actually can do, because those guys don't have crazy speed on them, and they're still doing all right.
And really the story here, I mean, for me, is that like how clutch Imperial Probe Droid is. He's just works so well with on so many teams. But I mean, he's like Ventress and TIE Fighter pilot together. It's just a beautiful thing. And then he blows up too, and Darth Nihilus.
Oh, are you playing the Asajj lead? Please play the Asajj lead. Are you playing the Asajj lead in this video?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Is it? I think it's Asajj.
I run the Asajj lead, so this will be interesting to see how bad my team sucks. This will be cool.
Oh, no, it is?
Yeah.
Which is that?
Make me nervous. That shouldn't be one.
The nice thing here with Vader being Zeta too, he's immune to turn meter, so all Asajj's little tricks and stuff and trying to slow him down doesn't work.
And that's the Zeta the unique, correct?
Yeah, that's
I'm actually pumped. Like I saw this rework of this kit, where they put in the green text and what changed, and I was under the impression that the whole package was the same. Like when you get the speed for free, that's perfect. I mean, I can already see, like, everyone in this TW that we're in, like they get like level 1, right? So like you can even see it at just 2 speed per Jedi or Rebel and Empire and Sith. Like you can already see it taking effect at just level 1 in this TW, and this is, I don't know, this is gonna be dangerous. I mean, are you gonna use him on offense? I mean, on Vader, or I mean, I don't know. Don't reveal any Dark Lord's super secrets or anything. But I mean, is this an offensive character in your mind, or do you feel this is a fantastic like defensive comp for TW?
Right now I'm gonna say offense. I don't know. The problem with Empire is that a lot of them have complicated kits and they rely on debuffs that need to be worked at the right time, and the AI doesn't get that. Can't figure that out. So that they're incredibly versatile on offense, but on defense, I will admit that they can be easier to exploit because of some of those AI decisions that aren't always the best. Some goofy stuff like sometimes Vader will use his culling blade on somebody without any debuffs and too early in the match, stuff like that's really infuriating. Or
yeah,
he'll use his force crush when you've got 4 out of 5 guys with foresight on it. Like, no, let's.
Well, you're starting.
We just had the audio from the videos. We're going over our chat. Unfortunately, that sucks. So nobody heard what we were just talking about for the last 5 minutes when the videos were playing.
It was only the Night Sister video.
Oh, there was music on the Night Sister video, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
too bad for you guys. It was really interesting. I heard it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, man. Do you think this Vader and Palpatine rework is so incredible that it might actually phase CLS bays? You know, the CLS Chase raid teams. You know, that everyone faces 50 of in these TWs. I mean, do you feel like these guys are good enough to maybe phase that out completely?
No, I don't think it'll phase them out completely. I think it'll give people maybe a little bit more of an edge, so it's a little bit easier to clear out those teams. But I don't think it'll phase them out. If anything, it's just bringing another option. You know, and it's nice because these are tunes that most people already have, so you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money trying to gear up the latest, newest, greatest thing. This is something that everybody already has in their toolbox, so it's nice. It brings another approach to being able to tackle a problem.
Yeah, I gotta give them 2 thumbs up on this. This is one of the better, I feel like, friendly gestures they've done. You know, lately they gave us, you know, Kylo Ren and the ship in an easily accessible spot. You know, if you're a more veteran player, you can easily nab that, you know, Special Forces TIE pilot. They give us these badass reworks of 2 characters that we probably, if you've been playing for over a year, have these characters at Gear 11. You know, like just improve our existing characters instead of forcing us to get brand new ones. I thought this was pretty bang up job on the part of them. You know, that's awesome.
I think we're and there's getting a little bit of flack now and people are saying, well, you know, they're not all that. They're not as good on defense, or this isn't going to dominate and change the meta. Well, that's a good thing. We don't want another overpowered tune that's going to come in and wipe out the whole meta. I don't want everybody to be running the exact same team. As much as I love Empire, I don't want every single person running a Vader and Palps team. That makes Arena really boring. It's just it's another complement to Arena. It's another viable option now. You know what? You can say all you want that may have been negative about this, but the reality is 2 days ago you couldn't win with Vader in Arena. Well, you can do that now, and I think that's a win. That's success. We don't need more overpowered characters. We just need something that's sustainable, and we need something that can win.
Well said, man. That was, yeah, for
sure. Give me a slow clap. I'm giving you a slow clap.
Yeah, that was good stuff. True or false? You practiced that speech in the mirror before you came on the
screen. And God help me. One team in Arena. Never again with CLS. Never again. I agree, though. Like you said before, the rock paper scissors thing. I love the rock paper scissors thing, and if we're all smart about it and didn't let the I'm all about the corporation day. If we didn't let the corporation get in our heads, then we wouldn't have to have all of the teams for all of the things. Because that's what I'm just driven to. I'm like, oh crap. I've always gotten every single legendary character. I've dished out money for it. I'm stressed about it. And, so right now I'm kind of scrambling a little bit. Those were my Vader. That was my Vader before up there. He's like, I had him at Gear 11 and 4 pieces. So he's got 2 more to Gear 12. And I'm just running to do that right now because for the next Territory Wars, I think we're going to need it. I would love to hear some, everybody's opinions, actually. Let's go around on this one because I want to steal your brilliant ideas. What do you think? How do you think this is going to change Territory Wars, especially with the defensive strategy? We know, okay, he's not necessarily, is not a defensive team, not this particular makeup anyway, and you're right. Sith are a little too, much of a finesse team to really be viable on defense. When people dismiss a team because they're not good on defense, that is just insane to me, because it does not matter if you fall on defense. You just put another team in. Like, you climb up to first place, and then you put another team in to try and hold as high as you can, right? But like, I just see that as it's not even a good point. Like, it's good to know. It's not good on defense. Don't leave them in, but that's not a reason to not get a team or to not develop a team. If you're having trouble beating Rey, if you can't climb, you need to find something that can. Maybe this is the answer. But anyway, territory wars. How is this going to change territory wars? What do you think the balance is going to be with having banners make points? Like, are we going to see guilds like pulling back on defense a little bit so we can assure offensive wins? I guess it matters how many points you're getting for a team failing on offense. I don't know. Box, do you want to try and what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's gonna require a lot more guild coordination, which is a good thing. We don't want to have a whole bunch of extra things to have to do in police and spreadsheets and stuff like that. But this is going to give competitive guilds that are smart with smart players the edge. Because now what you have to do is you have to go and you have to really analyze a team, because if you go in there and fail, or you go in there just to do chip damage, that's going to come back to bite you in the butt. We're going to have to start getting to a point now that you can wipe out a team with one full squad or two squads, and that's it. Because a lot of times I've seen there's a few strategies right now where guilds will go in and they'll chip away at one player and then they'll time it out. And wait till it refreshes back, and then they'll send in another team to go in there and kind of chip down like that. But it's going to take 7 or 8 squads to do that. That's going to come back to bite you in the butt when you're with all these defensive banners. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be a big change, and I don't think we're going to see. If anything, I think we're going to see more defense. I think people are going to go harder on defense, and it's going to come down to what you have left on offense. I think clearing the board might become a thing of the past. I don't think it's going to be uncommon now to see guilds only going maybe about halfway or 2/3 into the board, and then that's it. It's going to stall out. I think that's what we're going to start to see more of.
I've seen a couple lately of like kind of higher level guilds that are they're just like one region, like one region in a bit. It's like, oh, it's so hard, and so I just can't. Somebody's going to crunch the numbers on that and figure that out for us, but it really matters. I'm going to go look. Does anybody know offhand how many banners that you get for a defensive win?
I don't know if did they say?
They haven't they haven't released it yet.
Said? Okay.
They have different ideas, I'm sure, but there's nothing released.
Like if it's 10, oh my god, right? Like if it's 5 or 2 or like that's a totally different. That's
probably going to be something more along the ways of each time the defense gets a win, it's one less point you get on offense.
Yeah, it could be something like that.
It's not so much the defensive team's going to gain points, but the points earned on offense will be lessened.
Oh.
It's probably a little bit similar to how tournaments used to be. How you used to get points for characters that survived, and that's what you gained off of. So if you went in there and if you lost everyone but one guy and you still won, you wouldn't get as many points as if you went in and you had 5 still standing. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's something similar to that.
Yeah, possibly.
Do you have any thoughts on that new change to Territory Wars, Maurice?
No.
Come on.
I mean, I don't know. I was reading
you
the
do that
chat.
to me once a stream.
Well, I didn't even until you guys just said something. I didn't even know there was a change to Territory Wars. To be honest with you, like I'm sitting here reading the chat, and you guys were like engaged in like a serious conversation. So I toned out for a minute and read the chat. And now you're asking me questions. I'm unprepared. I didn't.
The 2 changes. It's basically one, having an offensive team that's quite easy for a lot of people to put together that can beat CLS. So that's going to really downgrade the viability of our super tough CLS walls that people tend to put in. And then the second piece is if the next time we play Territory Wars, it's going to be you're going to get points for your team holding out. And, conversely, basically, I don't see it as getting points for your defensive team holding out. I see it as you cannot go in and throw 10 teams against one and fail. Like you can't do that anymore. You can't be like, I had a bad day and lost 10 teams. Like, no, like there's going to be a different strategy. Like I think guilds are going to have to hold more for offense. There's going to have to be
okay. I caught up now. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm like what Teal said, I kind of agree with Teals. I think that's kind of the way it's going to be. Like if you go in and beat a team on the first run, you'll get like a maximum amount of points. But if you don't, it might go down, first attempt, 9, second attempt 8, or it might just be like a flat number. Like this team held one time, so you only get 5 points or something like that. I think it is going to be, I don't think you'll get like physical points for your defensive teams. I think you'll just penalize the enemy. Like you'll just penalize the offense, which I guess in the end is the same thing. So, yeah. So I'm just desperately trying to recover from spacing out the live stream.
But it's something that we all need to be wrapping our heads around, and theory crafting around, and figuring out it's very exciting. It's basically a whole new game. It's a whole new strategy as far as I'm concerned. Territory War is what we've been doing. May or may not work. I think there's a lot of opportunity for new stuff, because
what I'm personally doing won't work. Like I go in there and I pick apart CLS team after CLS team after Rey team after I pick them apart, right? But it takes me 3 teams to do it. I'll bring in like 2 meta characters and 3 garbage characters and take out BB-8, and then I'll bring in 2 meta characters and 3 garbage characters and take out Scavenger Rey in R2, and then I'll go in and finish them off, or whatever order I decide. I pick them apart with 3 teams of I basically use 1 meta team and I split it up into 3, because like those 5 meta characters aren't going to win with just those 5 meta characters. So I throw in just like crap, just like a meat bag, or like Chew, a worthless tank, Like I was telling you the other night about that team I was running: Newt Gunray, Night Sister Acolyte, Night Sister Initiate, Sunfac, and Geonosian Spy. That team will go in there and crush a BB-8. You'll knock out a BB-8, and you might get a couple guys out. It's automatic. You kill 2 characters on a Chase or a Rey team, but it's not good enough to win. So I'm going to have to really rethink my strategy, which sucks, because I spent the last 3 weeks remodding my entire roster to kind of go with what I'm trying to do. So,
but 3 teams isn't a lot. Like, 3 teams is reasonable. But it's when you go in and you have those days, and maybe good old Maurice, you don't have those days, but I can guarantee you a lot of us have those days where it's like it's just not working, like you can pretend that RNG is against you, but really you just the team is just too tough for what you have left.
I have those days all the time. You guys just don't hear about those days. I'm not going to sit there. That's a secret. Those are my secret days.
Yeah, no one talks about those days.
Yeah.
I do. I do.
It's like the gamblers. You never hear about when they lose.
You should see my Discord comp.
Like, when you go in with like a pimped out team and you just get smoked and just waste 5 meta characters, like, oh, retreat. Like, no one knows what happened, just wasted my entire resistance. So I'm really bad about wasting resistance. Bad.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart when I waste resistance. Hey, because I want to, and because can you play the little resistance video? It's just like, this is my resistance team. I've got 3 gear 11s, a gear 7, and I can't remember who else I put in here. I just put in a 5th for target. Who's Royal Guard. The Royal Guard's gear 5 or 6 with he's got 7 stars, but gear 5 or 6, and that's an all gold Vader team with inappropriate mods on it in the last Territory War.
Well, and it's just not all gold. There's a lot of 11s
in the Vader. Oh, is there?
Yeah, Pilot and Palps and Guard were all 11.
My bad. Can we just pretend it's 12? It sounds
good. They're all max gear. Max gear. Full gear 12.
They've all got bayonets on them, even if they don't otherwise. Okay. Anyway, resistance. I hate wasting resistance.
We're going to have to put Sandy Tits on the payroll. She's sitting here answering all the questions in the chat for us.
Okay, should we take some questions? We usually don't do that. And then we actually have KP and Sith Lord standing by. And I just thought, I didn't actually ask you guys this beforehand, but since I'm the person who's mostly like, I can't handle it when there's too many people on, thought we'd get some people who are also running these guys in Arena successfully, because I don't know, I don't like this whole it's not going to work thing when people are making it work. It just doesn't make sense.
Well,
it makes me think.
Yeah, let's get Grim and KP in because they're both running.
Like, I guess what kind of Box was touching on earlier is that they are kind of poorly managed on defense. Like my Night Sisters today, I just climbed up all the way through Vader and Palpatine all day, just no problem. Like, so I don't know. It's kind of boring, but I think I'm just going to ride the Night Sisters out for one more meta. It's so boring. But I think I'm going to do it. Like, I had no problem today getting through them, but again, like he mentioned, the culling blade on a character with no debuffs. I played a game today where Vader like culling bladed first, just like on my Night Sister zombie. I was like, sweet. Just got that out of the way. It's just like terrible. Like. Palpatine was kind of annoying though. Palpatine just max max health. It'd be interesting to see how people use this this protection up that Palpatine gets. He like just stacks his max protection. Like it would be interesting to see what people do with that, especially in like a raid environment.
Oh yeah,
like I'm kind of excited about that. Like with you could run like a Krennic lead, like do something crazy with that maybe, or is that just out of the realm of possibility?
I can beat CLS with Krennic lead.
Well, you put that Zeta on the Krennic lead and you get 10% protection back, and Palpatine has all this stacking protection now.
You do Krennic lead with Death Trooper lead, throw EP in there, and you can put whatever the hell else you want, and you're good.
You got to run Thrawn, I guess, yeah.
You don't have to.
The only problem with that one is EP's got a crit to get the protection back, and that's hard for him to do. Even with the boost that you get from Krennic lead, it's still he's got such a low natural crit chance that it's really hard to get him the crit.
Does it count as a crit when it's special damage?
Yeah, special damage can still crit, but usually you have to look at not the physical critical chance, but the special critical chance, and that's particularly low. Most special damage characters, like their base crit chance is around like 10%, maybe 15 on its special critical. So it can happen. Like the way I have my Palps modded right now, I think his special critical chance is close to 50, but I've got some pretty crazy crit chance secondaries on there, as well as a crit chance triangle. So even when he does crit, he's not critting for that much. That's kind of the trade-off.
And you said you had an offense set, correct, on your Palpatine?
Yeah, offense and crit chance.
So can we just talk about J-Ray? Because I don't know why we're not saying J-Ray.
No, I'm not saying J-Ray. That's y'all thing.
I think that I really like J-Ray and Palps. I dig that too. What was the one I wasn't so sure about? Oh, Foo last time. The Strumbach. Foof. We're trying with First Order officers. We need to have like a little repertoire of vocabulary of.
Foo is First Order officer. He's always been Foo. He'll always be Foo.
Oh God, really?
I'm not calling him.
I always say it as FOO. Like that's what I see. I've never said Foo in my head when I've written it. I always said First Order officer out loud. Anyway, Mr. KP, are you there? No, like it's demeaning to me. It's emasculating for you. It's no. KP, are you there?
I am indeed.
Hey, there's our KP. How's it going?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Good. How's Eastern Canada?
I'm in the Eastern States right now.
Oh, what are you doing there, you traitorous bitch?
I'm here for work. I'm a resident.
Oh, are you? I didn't know that.
You in South Carolina?
No, Florida, man.
Oh, horse shit.
Oh, nice. We got.
Go say hi to Finn while you're down there.
I should. I really should.
We got 40 centimeters of snow today. How much did you get?
What the fuck is a centimeter?
We got
so
0
ignorant.
centimeters. We got 0 centimeters. We had a cloudy day today, and then a lot of sun. It was like 24 degrees Celsius over here.
Whoa! Oh, I forgot you're Canadian as well.
I made a point to say so.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck? It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, you got 3 Canadians in the chat. You guys are screwed.
Oh, Box, are you Canadian too?
I am.
Oh, yes.
What a
I feel
friendly
as proud
flavor
as
we have.
when the women outnumber the men on RSG. That's awesome. Where are you from, Box?
Saskatchewan.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts in Saskatchewan?
Regina, the place that smells like it sounds.
You wish. Awesome. I'm from Calgary, so those two places are very far away from each other, but not really as far as Canada goes. So, KP, what's up? What are you running in Arena there, buddy?
Oh man, well I've been flip-flopping. Currently, I think I put Thrawn in for a little bit, but all day I've been running Palpatine lead. I went ham. The second the reworks dropped, Box knows, he probably saw it in the chat. I was just like, yep, it happened, and all 3 Zetas.
Yeah, I didn't even get to read the Zetas, and he had them done.
Now you guys are
I don't think he even read them. I think he just did it.
In KP's defense, he has all of the other Empire and Sith Zetas?
No, not all of the Sith Zetas.
Just all of the other Empire Zetas. So,
yeah,
really...
both me and Box. Are both. I think Box. I think you almost have them all too, right?
Close, yeah. I've got. I'm missing Tarkin lead, Krennic lead, and both the Palps ones. But he's getting one right away. I just haven't done it yet. I just got a second Zeta tonight, so.
Nice. But yeah, I'm running Palp lead with I was running Palp lead, Vader, Thrawn, Shore Trooper, and then the 5th was kind of flexible. I would run Probe Droid. I would run Tarkin. They're solid, honestly.
Say more than that.
What would you like to know?
I don't know. Well, like with the Palp lead. So, I mean, I'm just worried. He's
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
we haven't talked about the Palp lead at all. So, yeah, go for that.
So, like, Palp lead, it's funny because a lot of people kind of look at Thrawn lead, like when Thrawn first came on, they're like, oh, his Zeta is only 2% protection. Like, F that. That's like nothing. No, he actually gains back a ton of protection over time. If you play them right, and Box knows this, you see it in his videos too, you could finish a battle and you have full protection.
Yeah, I noticed that on TW when we go in there and fail miserably and like the bag sewed, somebody put like a Thrawn lead in there and just like you watch somebody play it and they lose and the team has more protection than when they started. You're like, God damn it. This is like I gotta get in there and face it like full protection now.
Yep, exactly. And then on top of it, you got to worry about turn meter too, right? Because now they're all loaded up and they can just like wallop you.
Yeah, nothing's worse than going in there and all of a sudden the Death Trooper throws his grenade right off the bat and you're screwed. Now your cooldowns are reduced and you're behind the 8 ball before you've done anything. Not fun.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Those teams are deceptive on defense and TW. Like they look like a fresh team, but they could have already won 3 battles.
Yeah, I've been preaching to my guys today. I put like a big long message this morning that, if you like, everybody should be going in on airplane mode because first check speed, second go on airplane mode because if you get surprised and you don't check mods well enough and you haven't, you've underestimated this other team and they just kill you, then hard close the game and get out of there. And I think you told us that one stream, good old Maurice. So it's, you got to do that because then you go into this team, you're like, oh, nice fresh team. And you're like, Jesus, they have full turn meter and
I didn't know you can do that. You could go in on airplane mode for TW.
Yeah. Even with a really little team, like even if I'm sending in a garbage team to try and like reset cooldowns and that sort of thing, you just while it's loading up, like as soon as you hit battle, you just wait for the little icon to come up and then onto airplane mode, it pauses it, you unpause, and then carry on with the game. I'm worried that I'm gonna freeze the game at some point. Like,
It should.
That's good to know, because I go in there. I go in there the same way that a high school kid takes off his pants when he's gonna get laid. Like, I'm just like, I'm in there, bang. I'm going in. I don't look at nothing. I look at the power, and I go in there and like, let's just figure this shit out on the fly. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't.
Well, we're not going to bring you in on our Territory Wars special, but thank you for letting me know that ahead of time. That was Box, right?
So what were we talking? Oh, right, Palpatine. So like Thrawn is an example, right? So people look at Palpatine lead and they're like, oh, 5% turn meter on a debuff expiration. Here's a thought, right? Vader is super fast. He drops his Force Crush. He applies, let's say he, with the amount of potency he gets from Palpatine lead, he drops 3 DOTs and the speed down. And then you have a fast Tarkin who applies offense and crit chance down. How many debuffs is that? That's 6, right? Now let's just say, by some chance, General Kenobi goes off and cleanses everything. He cleansed everything, but now assuming that all the debuffs apply to all 5 characters, each character losing those debuffs now is worth 30% turn meter. So if you get a cleanse, you just gave the Palpatine team 150% turn meter. And you get nothing.
It's depressing, KP. But yeah, I totally get that. It's awesome.
And that's why it works. And then Vader, on top of it, because he's applying debuffs and he's Empire, he gets 20% turn meter per debuff. He goes 100%. Like, you attach like even 1 debuff per character, Vader gets to go again, right? Then he can just automatically dispel something. Now, obviously, on defense, the AI is straight up stupid. He'll do stupid things like, if I'm dropping debuffs on a Jedi Ray team, Foresight is there and it blocks things, but then I'm not going to go and Culling Blade like 2 damage over times on General Kenobi, but the AI will, right? That's exactly what Box is saying. Like, what it ties back into is that the AI is just stupid when it comes to complex characters. There's a reason why the Rebels were meta. They were simple. They just hit as hard as they possibly could, and you just died from DPS.
Amen, brother. I don't enjoy playing Rebels. I never have. It feels like cheating.
No, it's just easy mode. Honestly, like Box, I think Box, what did you used to say about Rebels?
Except Resistance.
Oh, I don't remember what I used to say. I've said a lot of things.
If you've ever, here's a little plug for the Empire server. If you ever go on the Empire server, this is what I usually do. When the rework dropped, I went in and I was like, Zader's a little pussy and your rework's not going to be worth shit. And then you just kind of watch what happens. It's quite a little bit of fun. And there's all these like memes that they put up with like these like denigrating photos of rebels with their like head in toilets, or I don't know what it is, but they're quite spirited in the Empire server.
If you want to have fun on the Empire server, go in there and just type in fuck and then the name of like some character that's a rebel and see what happens. Guess something will pop up.
Yeah, like I'm always careful when I go into servers because I've got a potty mouth, in this digital world and in real life anyway. But, I'm like, I'm like, hello, everyone. Gee whiz, what a great fluffin' day. And then these guys start dropping F-bombs. Anyway, the link for the Empire Discord server, as well as link for the Nerfherders server, were 30er on the Nerfherders than they are on the Empire one, but both are equally great for wonderful theory crafting and fun times. Plug. Done. What were we talking about?
That's a good question.
I don't know, but that's very cool.
Switches the topic about 4 or 5 times in that monologue you did.
That's, when I'm drunk, when I'm drinking, you're just lucky that we're not talking about, well, you finish that sentence. You know me well enough.
Apparently, we have a bunch of Duke fans in the chat. There's no UNC fans in the chat at all?
Oh, football.
Well, it's not. It's football. Yes, they do have a football team along with a basketball team, a track team, a baseball team. It's a university here in the Americas. So when you receive your membership to America, you should really travel to North Carolina and check out all the universities there.
I've been to North Carolina, I think.
I think.
Yeah. That's right by like New York and stuff, right?
We don't need membership.
Yes. It's on the East Coast.
I love being completely ignorant with America geography because then I'll just be like, well, where the fuck am I? And you'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah. I wanted to make like a sassy comparison about Canada, but then I realized I don't have any geographic knowledge of Canada. I don't know where cities are where, so I can't even like make a joke.
It's like knowing that you have the same like low IQ as someone else. You can just be like, stuff is dumb. Like, yeah.
North Carolina's right by New York, yeah.
Well, what's the one where you have to like go outside of New York and the JFK airport is there, and it's
That's
not
Chicago.
New York State. No, what? Oh, is it? What's the New York airport called?
I think JFK is Chicago. That's terrible. I don't know that now.
I don't know. O'Hare is Chicago.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
Canadian,
yes.
man. How do you not know this?
Damn, I'm gonna timestamp that.
In my face.
It's called Where'd Bob Go?
Hey, Grandma's.
Yeah, where the fuck is Bob?
No, I just poured myself I'm like running out of pop cans. His
mic and headphones died like.
Okay, JFK is in Queens. My bad. I'm a fucking idiot. Way to represent the United States, Maurice. Way to represent.
No, Bob's headset died like 50 minutes ago.
Okay, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Good old Maurice makes fool of self. God,
That's the worst fool I ever made.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, Bob coming in with the save. I was about to get drunk.
Yeah.
Did,
All right.
Did I
Damn it,
something
Bob.
about college basketball?
Box, it's a tradition on the stream. When Bob departs, usually without saying anything, we drink the rest of our drink. But he's still with us. He's hanging tough tonight.
Hey, Maurice, did I hear something about college basketball?
Yeah. UNC
Oh, that's what.
Tar Heels and Blue Devils.
Is that what they're called? Duke?
What do you call Duke, Bob?
No, I'm just saying, is that their name, Duke?
And Duke in North Carolina.
Duke. Oh, okay. All right. I did two college basketball teams down the street from my house. They're doing pretty good.
Cincinnati?
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, boy. Go Bearcats.
Bearcats and fucking Xavier, man.
This segment of the stream is brought to you by Gatorade. Get your thirst on. Get your quench. God damn it. Get your quench on.
Quench your thirst.
All right.
Grim, that was you. What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
And what are you running?
Little drunk, but I'm doing good.
All right. Tell us secrets. No, wait, don't. What are you running in Arena, Grim? Yeah, sure.
Right now I'm running Thrawn, Vader, EP, Death Trooper, and Shore Trooper.
Thrawn, Vader, EP, Death Trooper, Shore Trooper. And how's that going for you? Do you have anybody Zeted? Any of the new guys, uniques Zeted?
Nah, I didn't forego for the Zetas. I'm actually glad I decided not to because of the bomb they dropped on us earlier today.
Which was
the Sith raid that's incoming.
Oh shit! Yeah, we didn't talk about that. I was like, I can't talk about that because it's too scary, and then we never came back to that. Let's talk about the Sith raid. Like, whoa, what? First,
I squealed like a little schoolgirl when I read that.
Teals, are you there?
Yeah.
Pick it up, brother, and drop some lore on us about these KOTOR Sith. What is it? Darth Nihilus, Darth Chan, Darth Cyan.
Got me off guard. I'll have notes for that.
Okay, my bad. Sith Lord needs to come in too. So Graham, you came on to bitch about the characters.
Oh yeah. Well, I know how to beat them.
Go on, go bitch.
Well, straight off the bat, they're awesome on offense. They suck on defense.
I don't leave them in on defense.
Literally suck on defense. No, I mean like really suck on defense. Like you can beat an EP-led team with an old school Zal-led Sith team. Yes, chuckles ensue.
But dude, then just take him out. Take him out. I just don't like when people say that. Then just take it out. But it's like with Arena, I don't know. I've felt the pain of not being able to climb, right? It's like so frustrating when you're stuck at like 15 and there's just like a wall of teams ahead of you. And, everybody has Vader. Everybody has Emperor Palpatine. So put them in, take them out. I don't know. Just, they're an offense. Not a big deal.
I love the reworks. They're really well done. They thought it through. It's just, they aren't as powerful as people want them to be.
But think of how much money they make from refreshes in Arena. Like, if everybody on average has to refresh another 2 times a week, that's like $1 from thousands and thousands of people. Cha-ching. Right?
Yeah.
It's all about.
It's all about marketing.
So it's all about marketing. I don't know. It's the Vader thing that's got me still.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. So you're running.
Just looked like the stream went off and came back on. That was weird.
It's buffering now. Yes.
It's back.
Buffering back on. Back. So do you notice a difference with the reworks for their uniques? Did you bring them all the way up to the Zeta?
Just shy of Zetas, yeah. They're really nice. I mean, it is awesome seeing Vader actually, not hit like a wet noodle on his basic.
That's always pissed me off too.
I mean, I tried one out with him and EP alongside Stark, and when Vader crits for 15k, it made me giggle.
It's nice in that, I don't know, I still run, call me sentimental, I still run with that Wampa Vader lead in hat, and it was sure nice to just see him like smoke out a one of the cannon when has like 40% health left. It's like it's a good feeling. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, overall, really good rework. I love when. I mean, I hope CG takes this to heart. Keep on proving me wrong, please.
I think we have Sith Lord in now. Are you there, bud?
Yes.
What's up?
Not much. What's up?
This and that. Tell us what you're in Arena, bud.
I'm running Vader, Palpatine, IPD, Magnet Trooper, Gar Saxon. Yes.
You big weirdo.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait a second. That doesn't sound like Sith Lord.
That was a terrible Sith Lord.
Oh, what's that?
I was like, oh, I can actually hear him talking. That can't be Sith Lord.
Sorry, I'm so fucking I'm so open to people being weird that I'm like, all right, I accept you. Okay, so we don't have Sith Lord yet.
That was awesome, Maurice, by the way.
What's up, Maurice? Was it really?
It sounds like Sith Lord's doing some calisthenics in his living room with some box jumps.
Really, we should have a little segment of the show where we all get up and do box jumps because my ass always hurts right about now. in like a wooden chair that I'm sitting on.
I haven't done a box jump in at least 10 years. So like the very first time I try it, I jump up, trip over the box, fall down, break my neck, and then I have to like do the stream, like just wallowing around the floor.
Oh, I thought you meant like jumping jack. Like you're talking jumping up on a step or a tire or something.
No, what you're talking about is called a jumping jack.
Yeah, no, that's what I just said.
Right, but in my entire life, I've never heard anybody refer to a jumping jack as box jumping.
Like you say weird shit all the time. Don't blame me for like jumping to conclusions about something you've said that I don't understand.
Well, she is Canadian.
It's true, exactly. We speak a different country. Sith Lord, I really want to know what, like, I was so excited about this Gar Saxon team. I'm like, dude, send us a, like...
Wait, what? Gar Saxon?
You really thought that was me?
There you are.
Yes, we did, Sith Lord. We thought it was you.
It was good. It wasn't like that. It was like, I don't know. I'm embarrassed now. Save me some.
Well, I run probably with Vader, Nihilist, GK, and fuck, who's the other guy?
That was my fifth.
Imperial Super Commando.
Gar Saxon.
Was it just me, or did he go all robot there for a minute?
Just for a teeny bit.
Sith just runs an arena team of 4 characters.
So, quick one for you, T. Tits says, "Is it a pegging chair?"
I don't know what that is, but I wish. Sith Lord, are you finding out what your fifth is?
Yes, I am. I don't know why I forgot. Hold on.
Bitch Panda called us idiots.
Why are you yelling, Bitch Panda? Why you gotta type all caps all the damn time?
Idiots.
And yeah, you misspelled idiots there.
That's like the worst word you can misspell.
You're a bunch of idoites.
Idoites. You idoites.
Hey, just give it a little bit. I'll typo with my face.
Gross.
Are you describing the moment when you pass out?
Hey, Tits, on your birthday, can we get like super like mean girl judgy about all of the tunes? Tits just wrote in chat. Speaking of Super Commando, his jetpack is crooked. I'd really like to like go through everybody and be like, his ass is flat.
So you're gonna do a burn book entry for every character?
Yeah, we're trying to think because Tits' birthday is on Saturday, so RSG on Saturday, and we're gonna have a bunch of women gamers on there, and we're gonna play some games. I've got some we've got some fun games we're gonna play. We're gonna talk about the game, maybe. I'm not really sure, but it's going to be fun. I can tell you that. We're hoping. We've sent Ranger a bunch of bloody donations to buy a dress from Value Village because we told him he can't come dressed like a woman.
What the fuck is Value Village? What is that?
It's like Goodwill. Do you have Goodwill, Salvation Army, secondhand store?
We got Fashion Bug.
No, it's a thrift store. Come on, Maurice.
Oh, okay.
We got Fashion Bug. What?
We got TJ Maxx and Fashion Bug.
We got a Fashion Bug. We got a Fashion Bug. Honey, we just went a Fashion Bug yesterday. You think I made a money?
Damn, girl, I got paid today. I'm going to take you to Kohl's.
Bimasu! Bimasu, we've been talking about the fact that they are shit on defense. Let us accept they are shit on defense. It doesn't fucking matter. They still completely changed the game. If you have a new team and you are facing 2 CLS walls and all of your guildmates have Vader and EP, oh my god, you have a team that can beat the shit out of them. What does that mean for your territory war? It's completely different. Like, this is revolutionary.
Take it.
and you can climb an arena with them. We've seen them beat Rey tonight. We've seen them beat Night Sisters. We know they can beat CLS. We didn't even freaking put a video in there because it's just assumed without a counterable, like with the AoE not being counterable anymore. I could almost freaking like beat them reliably when they did have a counterable AoE. Enough.
You know, I will add this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries, T. I just wanted to add in, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to your mods too, guys. Don't forget that. If you're facing an Empire team and you're like, oh, this is easy, but it's like, yeah, they have like plus 70 speed on their mods and you have like plus 120, like, you know, no shit, Sherlock, you're going to beat them. You know, I have pretty decent mods, and someone who matches my mod level, they can't beat me. They use Night Sisters and they lose, you know? I've seen one of my buddies on my shard, he switched to a Palpatine lead team, and we always kind of piss off this one super whale because we always try to block him out. And he's using like, you know, these really pimped out Night Sisters, which is like plus 150 zombie. Wow. You know, like insane. Wow. And he couldn't beat my friend with Palpatine.
With Palpatine.
He could not beat him. He attacked him. He tried to snipe him. He couldn't snipe him.
And that's what good old Maurice was saying earlier too. He went up against a Palpatine and just melted against him.
But that's what it is. Like it's just like if you're and that's the thing with Empire. If their mods match your mods, you're in for a rough damn time. I promise you. If you're walking through them, their mods are not up to par.
I don't know, man. I fucked up this dude. They all had 100 secondary speed plus on them.
I don't know, man. See, I don't know. Like I've seen guys in my shard, like I've been attacked, like where I'm like, oh no, I'm being attacked, and then I wouldn't move. And I was running a plus 61 speed Vader.
Was that against Nasaj led Night Sisters or Talzin?
No, this was Talzin.
Well, that's impressive. Because all the ones I've seen of Talzin versus EP, the Talzin teams like annihilate EP because the faster EP goes with his turn meter stuff, the quicker he dies to plague.
I don't know. I don't know what it is then, because like I had one of my guild mates is on my shard and he told me straight up, he goes, dude, like my Night Sisters could not keep up with your team.
I'm not like shitting on your team. My bad if that's how it came across. I wasn't
no. Oh no, it's all good, dude. It's all good.
The problem.
Oh, I'm shitting on his team.
Fight!
The problem with the Night Sisters against Palp's lead is not Palp so much. It's Shore Trooper that gets that plague right away, and if that plague's not sticking, they got nothing.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. It's like they turn into Barris. You know, it's like no damage, no damage, no damage.
So if I wanted to counter a Night Sister team very easily, I would just need a very fast Shore Trooper.
Which is exactly what I run.
Oh,
I run I know Box, you run like a 230 speed Shore Trooper.
Yeah. I found with him under Thrawn, he gained so much turn meter, and when he's losing it, because the reason I sped him up was way back when we had the triple cleanse meta, and there was just crazy dispels coming all over the place, and you couldn't keep a taunt on. So I figured that if I sped him up to a really fast rate, even though he's losing that taunt, when he loses a status effect, it decreases the cooldown. So he can bring that taunt back up again over and over and over again. So when he's fast like that, even though he's losing the taunt fast, he's bringing it back up again and he's healing everybody. And it just seemed to work a lot better, and that's kind of transferred over since then. It was kind of eye-opening to me the first time I realized that, hey, tanks don't need to be slow and tanky. Sometimes being faster is better, depending on how their mechanics work. And that's kind of, this day I found that no matter what, Shore Trooper being fast just seems to work better.
Yeah, I got KP to look over my mods before I went into the MP challenge in Dark Side Territory battles, and I think I got him up to like 221 or something. He just works so well when he's fast. It's just incredible. Like he's such a great tune. I have a list of tunes that I made for the guild that are essential to bring up to really high speed. Just the classic like Sith Assassin and BB-8 and R2 and who else did we have on there? Teals. Stark, those guys, and then, but I might add Shore to that list because he's useless at low speed. Like all of his stuff he needs to be really fast, but it's almost like he needs to be the only he could be the only one that's fast.
Because you can do a slow Shore strategy too. Depends what you're countering.
There's so many dispellers now, though.
Well, that's why he works so well with Veers alongside him.
Oh,
that way, when everything dies,
I like running him with Veers. I'll run him slower, so especially if I'm using him specifically to beat Asajj. Asajj can run a dispel, then I can run that heal and crit immunity and be like, fuck you. And then start killing things, and you can go again.
Good old Maurice. Bimasu says that you're zerging the Rancor right now. Do you know that?
You goddamn right you'd hear all the buzzes. Hey, how fast can Vader solo the Rancor now? In about a minute and a half?
Yeah. Have you done it with them yet?
No, 1-time speed. So I need to put it on 1-time speed just to be safe. We have like a 15-minute post rule. So it's 1-time. I'm a little worried 2-time speed isn't going to cut it anymore with this new Vader.
Well, how long is it? 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 2 might not cut it.
1x. All right.
So they gave us Holdo and Rose shards. Hey, that's kind of random. I guess there were so many people that didn't get the proper. I got the proper payout. I'm sure for those guys, but I guess there were so many people who didn't. Rather than kind of separate one from the other, I think they just gave everybody 15. Because I'll check how many I have.
Well, generally in these marquee events, you get like the star and then a few extra for the next tier. I think both of my characters are right at 3-star, like 0 of 30 or whatever it takes to get to 4.
Okay, yeah, sure, then you were short. You were short then, because if you buy that whatever the $10 pack or whatever it was, if you get that should be enough to push you into 4 stars, and it wasn't. You would end up 5 shards shy of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got it now. I've got 40 out of 35.
Pack, so you'd have to buy one of the crystal packs to push you over.
Hey, something that we didn't talk about that's like the biggest news other than the raid is that there is oh shit, I just forgot.
That's some big news.
Oh, the MP shards. So now for the raid reward, for the territory battle rewards, for the Rolo payout and the MP payout, which I am pissed about, because in order to keep up with pay-to-play players in big guilds, and we're getting bigger, we're like right on the edge, we're like 138 now, 136.8, so we're pushing 140. We could get, if we bossed everybody around, we could get to 140 in a couple of days here. And once you're there, it's like you need to keep up with the big boys, and you have to be strategic and precise. And so we have this farming plan. It's very open, but at the same time, there's a certain really key tunes that we want everybody to get. One is the Imp Droid. So we've been pushing everybody to get Stark. We've been pushing everybody to develop their Imperial Troopers. And then here they go, and they double the amount of Imperial Probe Droid rewards and Rolo Shard rewards. So now everybody gets double. So last time our guild got 20. This time we're thinking we're going to be at least 35, hopefully around 40. So everybody's going to be able to unlock. That's really cool. But then also, I don't know, like all you lazy motherfuckers who didn't have the foresight to do that, you're also going to be able to unlock it really fast. So I don't know, it kind of feels like we got screwed a little bit there. Working so hard, gearing all these tunes so fast, and then they're just handing these shards out like water. I don't know. I didn't appreciate it.
Who really got screwed were the people that bought those packs. You know what I mean? They're like
guilty for that. I mean, I willed them, and I am at 7 stars now, and there's my advantage is gone.
Yeah, I mean, this is that's just that they're doing all these changes they're making in the game are fantastic for the majority of the player base, but like the people that like
like me. And no, sorry.
I'm just saying, like, you know, they do this. They switch the script on Townsend and Night Sister Zombie, which I'm bitter about. But then, like, you know, let's like Box here bought the pack. He's, you know, it's gonna take us a few, you know, it's gonna take us a couple months to get him. You know, we're gonna go like 20 shards, 40 shards. Take us, you know, 2 or 3 TWs to get the full 50 or whatever. You know, they're a very high powered guild, so it's gonna take them a few TWs. So, you know, he invested in it, but now all of a sudden, you know, their guild's gonna get 100 shards next time. Like, it's just like, oh, well, I mean, this is great. It's just, I don't know. They're just kind of shitting on the people that are buying these characters. They're just like, ugh. Which is, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing here.
and we keep doing it is the thing. Like, I don't know. I've tried to be more careful, but then, yeah, I don't know. Then you wait.
Syndrome.
I'm not buying another character forever. Like, I don't care. Like, I just can't do it. Like, they just, I don't know.
No matter what they do, you keep on throwing money at them.
I don't think it's about us anymore, though. I think there's like this new generation. Like, we've been, oh god, I sound like an ancient human being there. But like, we're bringing into the guild. Like, we're kind of rolling the dice on some players who are, you know, new players. They're wailing out on characters. They're super strategic. They've got really top heavy rosters. Lots of Gear 12 tunes. They don't have everything unlocked, you know, but they're good players. They know the game with lower GP, and it's been a great success for us. It's been really awesome. You know, I learn a ton from them because they're like out there and figuring stuff out all the time, and I don't always have the time to do that. But yeah, so it's them that's spending the money. You know, like, I'm sure that they can see with a guild like Team Instinct. It's like, okay, everybody has everything, so when a new character comes out, everybody gets it, right? But that's like whatever, like $200 a person or $300 a person times 50. That's a fucking lot of money, actually. How much is that? Is that $10,000?
This is a shitload of money.
What's 200 times 50? It's $10,000.
That's 10K. Yep.
Holy fuck! Wow.
So what they bring in the first quarter, I think it was like $2.5 billion or something like that, or $1 million. Wow. It was a shitload of money.
Well, there's a big difference between million and billion. I think it was like 2.5 billion, maybe billion.
Well, there's also a difference between sober and drunk.
Oh, hey, okay, everybody shut up. Sith Lord, what the fuck are you running an arena?
We just posted it.
Poor guy.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Boy.
Porn? You're running porn?
I'm running, what the?
Sorry.
That's what I said.
So I maxed Vader and Palp, and I'm running Palplead, Vader, Thrawn, Kenobi, and Nihilus.
Very rough. Cool. Very cool. And how's that treating you? How are you feeling about that team?
Those AoEs take care of the foresights for the most part, because I don't have Imperial Pro Droid, so I need something to...
Oh, you will soon. Don't you worry about that.
But you're right. It's like, you know, you need the triple AoE. It gets, you know, you can have somebody get rid of the foresight, and then somebody else gets to actually do what God intended them to do on the team next.
Hey, if any members of Zai are watching the stream after you finish zerging the Rancor, get your ass in there and let's clear this zone. That is all.
Let me see how we're doing. So we're up in territory wars. Let's go around and talk about our territory wars. So we're up. I'm super excited against this guild that we're in. I'm this huge little fangirl of Korea. Grim is too. Grim eats like a little Korean restaurant every day. I used to live in Korea. I taught English there. Learned how to read Korean. Like, I was pretty adept at speaking Korean. And we're up against this Korean guild, and they're just like, we're 36th place in arena, right now of like in the galaxy of all guilds. Our average is, I think, 16.3, and they're 37th in arena with like 16.35 or something like that. So we're just like really neck and neck. GPs are really similar. They've got a little bit less galactic power than we do, and yeah, so that's like, and their mods are just beautiful. Like they had Teals found a BB-8 that was at 297 speed. I found a Thrawn that was like 275. I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, like this is in territory auras. Oh man, just beautiful, beautiful mods. And so, you know, we're struggling again. They're struggling against us. We're struggling against them, or we were at least the last time I saw them. And yeah, so we've both cleared one. Well, they're in the lead by 50 points, and yeah, so it's cool. Like the guild that we went against last time, I'm just convinced more and more. And Gil Maurice, you've been saying this forever, and I'm just catching up to you. It's all about mods, right? So it's strategically modding your characters, about putting mods as a priority when you're farming, doing as many Cantina refreshes a day as you can. You know, not being in this day and age, you cannot be a collector. You have to be a strategic player, and that means farming mods a lot.
Yeah, if you're currently farming Kit Fisto at a Cantina, don't ever ask me if you can join my guild.
Also, Darth Bob says drink.
Oh, brr.
Yeah, let's. That was an incredibly boring story, so let's take a shot.
Oh, shut up! And Maurice, can you tell us just to give us an idea, because this has really sobered me up. Tell us, like, when you have a mod plan, like, what's your mod plan right now, and like, how long is it going to take you to do what you need to do? Like, you actually calculate it all out. Tell us about that, like, nerdy, embarrassing aspect of your gameplay.
Well, I just, I don't know. You got to block off weeks of your life to farm mods. Like, you can't just like farm 2 days of mods and, you know, like if you're gonna farm mods, you need to farm mods for like 2 months. So, you know, and like, you know, there, you know, what was it, a month and a half, 2 months ago, there was all these rumors that we're gonna need Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin, and we might, you know, because they were giving us Sith Assassin as a monthly login, you know, and they're giving us the Sith Marauder. We got a new Sith raid. So you're probably gonna need these Sith characters, whether they get a bonus in this new raid, whether, you know, they're needed for like an event down the pipe, who knows? You know, so like you have to plan it out. And I needed 50 shards of Sith Trooper, so that's gonna take me. I think I put it in the Cantina planner. You know, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know, 2 refreshes. And so then you got to block that out. And then you go, well, now the next 2 months I need to farm mods. Because I guess it all depends on where you are in the game. Like, that's easy for me to say, but I don't need characters like Old Ben, you know, the Night Sisters out of there. I don't need Kylo. Well, I'm working on Kylo Ren now because that was just an impulse kind of thing. But, you know, just it all depends where I don't need Kylo Ren. You know, you might have to get some Jedi out of there. Yeah, I guess it all depends. But you have to farm mods. Like, if you have all the characters you need for all the legendary events, you know, all the events in game to get you other characters, you really should be prioritizing mods over somebody like, you know, Night Sister Acolyte, over, I joked about Kit Fisto. Like, there's just characters in there that you don't need. Like, they're just complementary characters to your roster. Mods are way more important. And they kind of fucked us up when they brought out these TBs, and everyone is like, level up your characters, level 53, gear 7, put 5 mods on everyone. And now you're like, whoa. You need mods way more than you need these characters, because, you know, and you'll see it. Like, people will look at these zones with the CLSs, the Rays, and they're just like overwhelmed, like, oh, I don't have anybody left on my roster that can beat them. You might be surprised. I mean, go in there and look at the mods on these characters. You know, so I faced a BB-8 the other day with like 40 secondary speed on it. You know, like, my characters are going before BB-8. Like, you know, it's just... Yeah,
that's the thing with most of the TWs right now, is a lot of people don't have the mods to gear all those secondary teams and stuff. So, like, this territory war, I've ran into about 4 CLS teams that had no mods on them whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was our last one. We had there was a TIE fighter pilot with like 0 speed, 7 speed, 20 speed. A BB-8 was 0 speed. It's you have to check them. But this time it's a whole different ball game. It's I just looked at a BB-8 I was going to take down with my Night Sisters, and it's 288 speed on this BB-8. I'm okay, I got to go practice in arena before I do that. No, I'll do it. I always take my Night Sister team is decent. I know them. I love them. I'll take them out, but I'll have to go practice in arena a few times before I get up the guts to do it.
I'm just the majority of the people in this chat run dark side characters. They run dark side arena teams. They run dark side everything. And they might have their CLS teams on defense. I'm not saying that these guys in here do this, but if somebody is a dark side heavy roster, they just put their CLS team in on defense. They don't use any of those characters. They don't use Baze. They don't use Chirrut. They don't use CLS. They don't use Han. So they're going to have mediocre mods. They're going to have their mods they're not using on their Empire or Sith characters. And those teams aren't. While their galactic power is still high because they do have 5-dot mods on, it doesn't mean that they're unbeatable. Some of these teams are very, very average, and you can go in there and just kind of pick them apart with two, kind of your B teams. You have all these characters, right? You have all these characters in your inventory. For those of us that have played for a while, when the tank raid first came out, everybody scrambled to get their droids ready, right, for P2. Just like Ewoks for the Rancor when they first came out. They have all these characters, but all these characters are absolutely useless if they don't have mods on, decent, good mods on them.
Decent?
What?
You said
Domo
decent.
arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Well, no, that was I was speaking and I was trying to hold back a burp. So that's I'm gonna mute myself now. I wish I was a little more prepared for that question because I could have answered it way better.
No, it was good. It was a good answer. But can you actually answer the question and tell us right now? Sorry, I'm teasing. What's your farming plan? Because that was very sobering for me. Was it for Night Sisters? Was it for Carry You? You have mods that you need to get, and then you kind of look at the odds of you actually getting that particular mod, and then you plan it out. So you're it's going to take me 3 months to get enough speed on this particular team or whatever, if you're farming health mods or what are you doing right now?
I go after very specific stuff, yes. And I want I'm gonna do a little bit of potency. I'm especially gonna do potency now with this upcoming raid coming out. I'm gonna need a lot of potency, potency crosses with secondary speed.
You will be happy.
Why is that?
Because
stream is down. Stream is down.
Whoops.
It's skipped out. Well, you need potency to really go against the Rancor and the tank. PvE stuff is very, very tenacity heavy and light on potency. So you stack your tenacity and potency, and you do much better in the raids. If you have characters that you just use specifically for raids, those are the characters that need the potency and the tenacity sets, not your arena team. Because it's just the way the game's made. PvE content you need a lot more potency, but whereas arena, you don't really need that much potency. It helps. It's nice to include, but it's not mandatory. The P2 of the Rancor. You do bonus damage if the Rancor is debuffed. But you guys face the Rancor all the time, and you see how many he just resists everything. So you really have to stack potency on your characters to get those debuffs to land. And this is going to be the new raid is going to be no different, especially with these Sith. I really don't know anything about this new raid. Have they said anything at all? I didn't even know there was a new raid before 15 minutes before our stream tonight. I didn't even know. Have they mentioned anything about it at all, or just that one's coming?
I think we're very excited to let you know that this is coming, and it's Knights of the Old Republic themed. Something about those 3 Sith that were either battling, or they're part of the rewards, or you need to have, or they haven't really told us any details about it. But it makes sense. It's Knights of the Old Republic. Everybody wants Revan. It's if they're gonna give you Revan, people, it's got to be with this. If it's not with this, I think you gotta stop holding your breath for that dude.
So these new characters they've mentioned, are they characters we will be receiving, or are those characters we're actually facing in the raid environment?
I'm not sure.
You fight against them. You fight against the Triumvirate.
Do you?
Yep.
So the likelihood, if you're fighting against them, the likelihood that the Sith get like bonuses like the Jawa or like the Jedi do. I mean, I guess it's going to be a different faction then. Yeah, it's not going to be the Sith.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up being Jedi and I don't know what else.
God, if you
Probably
made
just
Jedi
Jedi
for the raid, I'd be pissed.
They already kind of did that, though.
Hasn't
But
stopped anyone before. I mean, like the Hat raid says, hey, Jawas get a bonus, but wow, is everybody using Jawas? Nope.
because the bonus sucks. But yeah.
I'm kidding. Oh,
that reminds me, Maurice, you should like the new Palpatine mythic that's coming up, because that's given 5-dot purple potency mods as well as Gear 12 stuff.
Well, I would much rather have speed mods.
Well, we all would, but still, you go with what they give you.
Yeah, the stream is being like super goofy. It's like super laggy.
Well,
might be on YouTube's side.
I think we're going now. I'm going to.
Are we talking about Sith Marauder, or are we done with that already? Do we answer that? I don't know.
I mean, like,
no.
Okay, I don't know where it cut off. I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, fair. I just talked about the health down special that we had, right?
Can we start that from the beginning? Because I don't think the stream will continue. It's
yeah. Just
snap. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Boom! Boom! And we're back, people. We've got guests on talking about dark side characters, the new rework for Vader and Emperor Palpatine. If you're listening to this part of the stream, you got to go back and listen to the other part. We got, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours before this, where we went over everything, and we're just talking about the new Sith that was doled out. Was that Box? We have in the stream. We've got Box and the Fuzz. We've got KP67. Grim and Sith Lord, who are all running Empire teams successfully in Arena. Then we've got our hosts, Good Maurice, Teals, Darth Bob, who I'm scared to ask if it's still there, and myself, T Money G. Box, you were telling us about the new Sith. Go ahead.
That was KP that was talking with the Sith.
Oh, sorry,
KP. Host.
Whatever, hoser. Come on, hoser. We got 3 Canadians on tonight. They're all hosers, including
you guys. All sound the same.
Of course. That's racist. That's racist.
Thank you.
Racist.
So tell us what the new Sith is all about.
All about. Well, like, you know, when you look at Sith Marauder, right? I mean, first off, he hits pretty hard on his basic. When he's critting, like some of the game changer videos are showing what, like 15, 16k crits on basic, right? His special, honestly, it's beast, and it synergizes real well with the Sith because they hit through protection. I mean, he could even work well with Talzin if you think about it, because when you crit with his special, he essentially inflicts a permanent health down. It's not a debuff. He automatically just drops a character's max health 15%. So someone like Sith Assassin could hit, like, you know, a normally tanky character a lot harder because, you know, like say you're running General Kenobi. If Marauder throws and the animation is just freaking amazing, by the way.
Is that a stacking? Is that stacking health down?
It will.
Yes.
They don't outline it. Yeah, exactly. Grim's exactly what Grim said.
Says
it is stacking. It's
stacking until the end of the encounter.
Okay.
And it's on a relatively low cooldown. 3, it sounds like a lot because it's like, oh, 3-turn cooldown, but that's where his unique comes into play. His unique plays into buffs and debuffs and turns him into like this, just a monster. If you have lots of debuffs around, he becomes offensively strong.
If you have a lot of buffs around, he becomes defensively strong. And when you think about the number of assists and counters that go on between CLS and Jedi Training Rey, and even Talzin, because Talzin can call back Night Sisters from the dead to assist, it gives Marauder turn meter. So he can burn through his turns very quickly and then inflict again, health down, health down, health down. Throw Nihilus on a team, then you have a debuff of health down. Now you drop someone 15% plus, I think, 25%. They've lost 40% of their regular health pool already. You've cut them down to half of where they already are sitting. And Sith Assassin hits hard. When you get her critting, she can bring someone down to half health. She can almost one-shot, if not completely one-shot, at regular health. Imagine when you're already sitting at like half health now.
That saber throw is so sick. Oh my god, I haven't seen the footage.
Yeah, you talk about
it's sexy, isn't it?
Yoga Flame. That shit looks cool as hell.
It really is like Yoga Flame.
What did you say? What did you say, Good Maurice?
About what?
You said Yoda Flame? What?
Yoga Flame. It was
Fighter
not
reference.
relevant. It was incorrect of me to even say.
Okay.
I will say that he's easily the most jacked character in the game. Like, he's definitely pumping the iron.
Yeah, he is. He's cutie, that one. Except look at their posture. Look at all of the Sith posture. That's why they're like the dark side makes you have bad posture. Look at them all.
Well, they've all got scurvy.
Maybe. Like, can you see Emperor Palpatine like breaking open an orange? Like, I can't.
No, he's got better things to do than that shit.
Is there any more mandarins left? No, he's just eating like, I don't know. What does he eat? Like, you never see these guys eat. They never eat in Star Wars. You ever notice that? Never eat in Star Wars.
I'm sorry, the Sith do not do Pilates.
Do not do Pilates. Actually, interesting note. I just actually realized this. Look at how Sith Marauder stands, and then go check out Ventress.
Yeah, they copied
They just
her
reskinned.
basic attack.
No, but even the posture when you're looking at them in the menu, like the screen right now is showing Marauder, and they're just rotating him on the main screen. Go take a look at Talzin, and she stands the exact. Oh, not Talzin, Ventress, and she stands the exact same way.
Oh yeah.
I just noticed this.
You looking at Ventress a lot you're looking at Ventress a lot in your game there, honey? Why is that?
Well, of course, I mean, like, she's one of the most. I think good old Maurice could back me up on this. I'm just saying.
Actually, if you look at it closely,
on Ventress, bro, she's sexy as hell.
I mean, she definitely uses her sunscreen. So you gotta like a woman that uses her sunscreen.
She's going through some chemo.
Yeah. I've shaved my head before, and
no, you haven't.
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh my god!
Sinead O'Connor over here.
It didn't happen.
I look beautiful with a shaved head. I look beautiful.
Yeah, I bet you got the pastiest head of all time.
Yeah, I really need to be in the sun, or I'm terrible. But yeah, I'd shave my head in Bermuda. Thank goodness.
Now, did you shave your head for a cause? Or you just shave your head to be a trendsetter?
No, I don't think you shave your head. I don't know.
If you have a lot of hair, you shave it and give the hair. You donate your hair.